If you're a driven, active person who wants to reach and pursue a higher quality life with some ambition, then guess what? This podcast is for you. This is the Driven Athlete Podcast. What's up, y'all? It's your man, Dr. Kyle. Welcome back to the Driven Athlete Podcast. Today, we got Daniel Hutchinson. All right, cool guest with us. Very interesting stuff that he's doing and getting involved with. But thanks for coming in, man. I know you're a busy guy, but so thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So tell people about what you do.
Yeah. So I'm a mental health coach, and I'm the founder of Project Spark. Project Spark is a company to help people understand these creative outlets and how they can help navigate their life. So a lot of people might deal with daily stressors, and they don't have really a space for them to release these stressors. And so Project Spark is an event for people to kind of navigate that, find new outlets, find what works for them, and then take home those experiences and apply it to their everyday life.
And these are workshops and events that y'all host.
Yes. So it's workshops. I go to different like schools, businesses, and companies, and I'll do like just a mental wellness workshop. And I also host my own my own events just separately at like Emirate Resort and these different resorts all around Palm Beach.
Cool. When did you start this?
So I started a year ago, actually. July 1st, I made it official.
Okay.
But when I moved back home from Denver, Colorado in January of 2024, I was like, I know that I have to go do this. This is what I have to do. So that's when I started.
Tell us about where you from originally?
So originally from Chicago. I've lived everywhere, I feel like. But originally from Chicago, Illinois. I moved down to Florida in 2014. I went to school in upstate New York. And then from New York, I went out to Colorado where I worked and got my professional experience as a mental health coach.
Cool. What part of Chicago?
I'm everywhere, man. I moved like a lot, but I'm from Evanston. And then I moved out to the Plainfield, Naperville area as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a small D2 school, Quincy University in Quincy, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
And we played a bunch of schools out in Chicago in football. St. Xavier, what was the other school we played out in that area? Joliet Catholic.
Yeah.
St. Francis, Illinois, I think is in that area.
Yeah, St. Francis is there too.
And isn't St. Xavier in that area too?
Yeah. I think it's like south.
A little south.
Yeah.
Around the outskirts of that. Yeah. So we were up there a lot.
Yeah.
And then volleyball as well. We played some schools out there. Loyola, Chicago.
Yeah.
One of the coldest I've ever been. We went to Lake Michigan, and it was in January or maybe even February. And the whole thing was frozen. Mm-hmm. And this ice wind was just cutting into your bones.
Yeah, I bet it was.
We were standing out there like on these rocks, like overlooking the ocean, the Lake Michigan. Man, it was just insane.
Yeah, it's brutal out there, man. The Windy City is no joke. Like, that's what makes it so cold is the wind.
Yeah, it's rough. So so you went from Chicago to Florida in 2014. Mm-hmm. You went to undergrad in upstate New York.
Yep.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Ithaca College.
Oh, Ithaca. Okay, yeah.
It's just more cold, right?
Oh my gosh. You didn't get enough in Chicago?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I was addicted to it, I guess.
And then Denver, is not warm in the winter.
Yeah. Denver's actually not that bad. They see 300 days of sun, which I was not expecting at all. So like it might snow a bunch in the morning, but then by 2:00 it's all melted and it's like fine to be outside.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I was when I went to school in Quincy, like because I'd never seen snow because I'm born and raised from this area.
Oh, nice.
So I'd never experienced like a real winter. Man, it gets dark at 4:30. Yeah. And it's like always overcast and gray and dark. And I'm like, this is just depressing.
Yeah, man.
So at least in Denver, you have 300 days of sunshine. Like that is huge.
Right, exactly. But upstate New York, man, same thing. It got dark at like 3:00 and it just was like depressing.
It's the worst.
Yeah, it literally is, man.
Oh, man. So, all right, what would you major in?
Psychology.
Oh, okay, psychology major makes sense.
Yep.
Could have expected that. All right, so then when you finished at Ithaca, that's when you went to Denver.
Yeah, man. So I just off on a whim. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was applying to a bunch of jobs in New York City. I wanted to work in New York City. Like, I studied psychology, but I was battling between if I want to work in mental health or if I want to get into marketing because that degree I can kind of go either way.
Yeah, totally. I mean, a lot of psychology and marketing research. You know?
Yeah, exactly. But man, I want to get any job in New York City. And the first job I applied to out in Denver, Colorado was a healthcare position. And I was like, you know what? I feel like this is a sign. I'm big on that. And I just went off on a whim, $300 in my bank account and just left.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was crazy.
We have a very similar story, which I can tell another time. But that's cool. I just went on and just took a leap of faith.
Yeah, man.
So how long were you in Denver?
Man, I was only there for 11 months, just under a year.
Not quite a year. I've been to Denver once. And I had a blast. Like everyone was super friendly and nice. Weirdly, like you just become best friends with people like pretty quickly.
Yeah, similar experience, man. They're so kind out there, and it's like not even surface level. They actually want to get to know you and talk to you. Like they're cool people.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool time. I definitely got altitude sickness when I was like,
Oh yeah, that'll sneak up on you if you're not prepared.
Yeah.
100%.
yeah, I was like nauseous and just sick. And then like if I went out to dinner, had some drinks and stuff. After like one drink, I'm like, I don't feel good. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Did you work out at all? Like, did you go for a run?
No, but I tested it. This was like 13 years ago. Yeah, 13 years ago. I ran, like I was with my brother. And I was like, there's a bunch of stairs ahead of us. And I was like, I'm going to sprint up the stairs and back just to see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. How were you feeling after that?
I was sick. I was like, man, I just like, out of breath and just like nauseous, you know?
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. It's the altitude out there is ridiculous. Like you don't think you're that high up there until you start moving around and you're like, oh man, I can't even breathe.
How long did it take you for you to get used to that or get over it? Or did you not?
I mean, so I ran track and played football in college. So I really tried to just stay as active as I could. So like that first month that I was there, it was super rough. I'm not gonna lie. But after that first month of just consistent work and just working out, I was like, okay, I can
get used to it. Yeah. It makes sense why like a lot of athletes will train there, you know, off-season training.
Yeah.
That's a huge advantage, I feel like.
100%.
So what led you to pursue psychology as an undergrad degree?
Yeah, man. So I mean, I had a really bad injury my senior year of high school. So I went to Oxbridge Academy. They shut down the football program. I ended up having to transfer out to Forest Hill. I went to Forest Hill and
so you're from this area originally.
Yeah. So I did like high school and all that stuff out here.
Yeah. I went to Gardens.
Oh yeah. So you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know how like important football is and like sports out here. Just like if you want to do really anything in life, you got to be an athlete. You got to lock in. And I was a receiver. I started getting recruited at the end of my junior year. I was like, finally, it's my time to really shine. Football team got taken away, transferred out to Forest Hill, and I was trying to practice with the guys, made it in with the ones and the twos, like rotating in there and just adjusting as a senior. And I ended up tearing my ACL, MCL, meniscus, unhappy triad. Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Dude, it was non-contact. We were just doing one-on-ones, and I was running a post corner. So got out the line, got verticals, planted in the ground for the post, and then when I went for the corner, everything just snapped, and it was rough. Yeah. But that's kind of what led me into studying psychology, because during that time, I know we talked before we started this, just about, mental health and how it's like an invisible challenge, really. People can't tell what you're going through unless you tell them. And that was like my time. I was in the hospital. My mom had to work. It really was just me and figuring out how am I going to get to college? I just lost all my offers. I lost everything like that was in front of me. And I was in a super deep, dark place and had to get myself out of it.
Yeah.
So going to study psychology was a no-brainer.
Wow. That's awesome though. That you pulled out of that. So you did a bunch of rehab, I assume.
Yeah.
It's a big surgery.
Yeah, man.
A lot of rehab after that.
Yeah, it was not pleasant.
That's crazy. How about now? Like since then, like, do you feel like your knee is good? Like you 100%?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've had some time, to recover with it and just kind of get over that. But that first year out of surgery was no joke. I mean, first year trying to play again, I was like, my mind, I couldn't even take a step. I couldn't plant. First year playing without the brace was another step. I was like, I'm afraid I'm going to do it again. And
of course.
But now, man, now that I'm adult, I'm fine. I'm running, 15, 20 miles a month. I'm feeling good.
Amazing. That's awesome. Good. All right. So then, so that was kind of the underlying motivation to do psychology.
Yeah.
Did you have a vision of working with athletes specifically, or just people in general? Like,
yeah. I mean, so originally I went to Ithaca College to study AT. I wanted to be an athletic trainer.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Until I had to take, A&P. And I realized maybe I'm not cut out, for this.
It's not my thing. Yeah.
Yeah. The 3-hour labs plus, trying to work a job and playing a sport, it just kind of was a lot on my plate. So I wanted to figure out how can I still help people in whatever respect it was. So then I studied psychology, and I wanted to work with athletes. Sports psychology kind of was my thing. Studied a lot on self-determination theory, excuse me. And I just want to be able to help people get on track. Like, you are more than capable of setting a goal and obtaining that goal, but this is what it looks like. These are the steps that you have to take. And, it led me into working with everyday people that experience these things every day, but I still want to be able to work with athletes and in that level.
What's self-determination therapy, would you say?
Yeah, so self-determination theory, it's essentially kind of what drives people to accomplish a task. So we can have like a simple one, is just like eating your food. So it like motivates you to eat every day. It's something that you have, it's a necessity, and that also goes with what we want in our life. If you want to be able to be a CEO of a company, what steps do you have to take to get there? And you plan these short-term goals with the long-term goal in mind, and that's how you accomplish your task. So it's kind of like people going through therapy. physical training, mental training. It's all of those things. It's just how do you find what fits for that specific person that's dealing with that problem.
Yeah. Gotcha. And then laying out a pathway. So is that part of what you do now?
Yeah, 100%.
Like what I mean is like, do you work with clients where it's like, hey, what is it that you want to do? And then let's break down the necessary steps to make that happen.
100%. If I'm going to an organization, a business, even a school, dealing with students, it's all pretty much the same. It's picking out a long-term goal that you have and then breaking down that long-term goal into 3 short-term goals. And then every time you accomplish those 3 tasks, set another set of 3. What does that look like? And then before you know it, you're already at the top. So CEOs, CFOs, businesses, teachers, students, anybody like that.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me an example of like something recently? You don't have to name drop or anything like that, but just like an example.
Yeah, it's all good. So I'm actually going to go do this workshop at Watson University or Watson Institute. I know you didn't say I didn't name drop, but
It's all right. It's okay.
At Watson Institute, and it's going to be a full day thing. So I'm going to have an hour lecture just with the students. First 30 minutes is just about what I do, what that looks like. And then I'm going to go into self-determination theory and how to set proper goals, realistic goals, and what that looks like. So that first hour is just the lecture part of what they got going on. The second hour is more of an intimate time. So the people that felt moved or they felt like what I was saying was engaging, they'll have more of like a coffee chat with me. And then we'll break down, okay, this is what it looks like to apply these things. This is how you have hands-on time to do this. And we'll sit down together and we work on, creative writing if that's somebody that needs an outlet that way. Or, we look at different outlets like sculpting. Different types of creative hands-on time for you to kind of turn your brain off, but enter a state of flow and still accomplish these tasks, because it's good to have like those type of outlets.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. Music as well, like musical instruments.
Yeah, musical instruments. In our everyday life, we get so busy. We're always running around and we forget that we need an outlet. And a part of us attaining certain goals is for us to kind of step away for a second. If you're too zeroed in, you're too tunnel vision in, you're going to miss the world around you. And then you're going to have some type of effect, cause and effect. So how can you really have an outlet that's going to help you obtain your goals and still remain that youthful and determined spirit that you have?
Yeah. I always feel like personally, a lot of my clearest thinking opportunities when like, oh, great idea or whatever, like working things out in my head come when I'm working out.
Yeah.
Or if I'm doing an outlet task like that.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, it's weird. Like I from my understanding or from what I've heard, it kind of like shuts off a lot of the background noise and higher thinking complex stuff. And it allows you to clearly maybe articulate in your head what you're just better ideas.
100%.
And is that, can you articulate that better?
Yeah. You got it spot on. That's really what it is. But when you have like a physical task or you put your like body to work, essentially, it does clear up a lot of that space in your mind. So it's when you're not doing much or you're sitting here just kind of looking at a sheet of paper or you're reading or looking at a screen, you can have 1,000 thoughts flowing through your brain. Boom, boom, boom. But if you're giving yourself a physical task to actually do something, or it's taking you away to kind of turn off your brain for a second, those thoughts come a lot slower. So instead of 1,000 thoughts per minute, you're getting, 1 or 2 or 3 that comes at a time. You could pay attention to more of the detail of the thoughts that you're
process it better.
Exactly. So that's exactly what it does.
Interesting. That's cool. What's your outlet?
Yeah, for me, it's creative writing.
Creative writing. Okay.
Yeah. So I love to write. Even since I was a kid, man, like it just gave me that space. I was a really angry child. I dealt with like a lot of hardship, and I used to always get in trouble for breaking things or for like fighting. Honestly, like I was not a good kid. Honestly, But
high school or middle school or when?
Yeah, like elementary to middle school, and then high school, I got like that proper guidance. I was able to go to a good school and super blessed opportunity for me to be at Oxbridge and stuff like that, to get proper guidance. But yeah, when I was in middle school, it was write what you're saying instead of saying what you feel, because that's going to get you in trouble. And it clearly has gotten me in trouble. And then I got to be more creative with the way that I thought and the way that I expressed myself. And I don't know, just different types of structures of writing. So poetry, or you just take a task, or you get super, super involved in maybe like a story that you want to tell that, makes you seem a certain way in the light that you have in your mind. Like it really gives you that space to create a narrative and to express that narrative that you have.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny is like, man, I got 3 kids, so like, and running a business.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And seeing patients and then like trying to get my own workouts, and yeah, like creative outlets are definitely scarce with me. Like,
yeah,
I would say my creative outlet right now is scrolling for a little bit before I go to bed.
Hey, that's all right.
Just vegging out.
That's all right.
Decompressing. That's what I'll say. But anyway, I used to draw a lot when I was a kid. And then also I was the piano, playing the piano.
Yeah, man.
I had to reteach myself when I was doing my fellowship training in Houston before kids, I actually wasn't married yet. But I enjoy that because I can see just the way that it's being articulated and like it makes sense. It didn't know otherwise, like a creative outlet to like channel out some of that energy and or frustration or just processing information throughout the day or what's next. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say if I had to answer, I would say those two would be mine.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. I mean, the piano is super hard instrument to play. I feel like it's underrated. Like it's really hard to play. So like more power to you for doing that. But like that space of music and also that physical sensation that you're having while playing the keys, like you're probably really getting to that state of flow. Like, really getting into it. So that's awesome that you got that.
Also too, like my kids, like if there's a couple songs that I can actually play well, like when Christmas comes around, I can play a couple Christmas songs, like Frosty Snowman or something. And my kids would be like, play that one, and like we'll sing it together and it's fun. Yeah. So I enjoy like producing that my kids enjoy, I'm like, I'm making this happen where it's like a cool family thing and then they're enjoying it,
Yeah, 100%. Bring community, right?
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Well, also it's funny too, is like, if I like get up and leave or go to the bathroom, get some water or something, like they'll get on the bench and then put music up and then pretend to like play. I'm like, what are you playing? They're like, oh, playing Jingle Bells. Yeah. And they're just like banging the piano. They're like, sounds good. Keep going.
Yeah. Hey, that must feel so good though as a father though, just to see that. I mean, even though you might not be able to have all the time to get creative and to do it, just to see that, your children are enjoying these things that you bring to the table. Yeah. Like that's another, underrated form of a creative outlet. Like you've inspired the next generation to do that. So that's awesome.
That's cool. It is. I appreciate that. Of course. What are some of the most common questions clients ask you?
Yeah, common questions. Oh man. Does this really work? I mean, they say that all the time. Like some people think I'll come in and just talk and they think it's kind of a waste of their time to try to get creative or try to do these things. And it's like, you kind of have to convince not only the person, but they have to convince themselves that that's
for them like establishing their creative outlet and then a plan to stick with it.
Yeah.
For the purpose of goal development and processing
100%.
And then mental health encompassing all that.
Right. Yeah. That all comes with it. Once you get like kind of on the right path of being able to do these tasks and you're in your routine, showing up every day doing that, the mental wellness part, it just comes with, right? But it's being able to show up every day and say, okay, this is something that is actually helping me in the long term. And how do I stay consistent with it? And the people that don't feel like it's good for them either don't have a creative outlet, never explored that, or they feel like it is a waste of their time because they're too zoned in, tunnel vision on what they're trying to accomplish rather than giving themselves the space to think more creative.
So just like hyper consumed and like just ruminating over like what they need to focus on.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of them are some people that would be resistant at the beginning, would maybe be nervous or concerned that they don't want to share what their outlet would be?
Yeah.
I think it'd be like if they get made fun of or like, oh, you like creative writing,
Yeah, exactly.
We're like, well, yeah, dude, like what's wrong with that?
Yeah. I mean, it really happens all the time. I mean, you can even look at children. I mean, we're always having that youthful spirit no matter how old that we get. But if you're, a child and you don't fit into a certain group or you're not good at a certain task right away, you might get frustrated. You want to throw it down and do something else. Yeah. It's not the same thing, for adults that want to get into a new creative outlet. If they're not good at it right away, they might feel like it's not necessary or it's not helping them or it's not for them. Yeah. But it's just taking the time to navigate what is for you, stay consistent with it, and look at the long-term effects it's actually having. It's not like, it's not like your phone. You can't get instant gratification right away. Like it takes time for that to build. So
yeah. So all right. So then besides that, then you would also help clients with the goal structure.
Right.
And from what I've been told in the past too, like you tell me what you do. They had told me that like, well, first you have to identify what's the goal to begin with.
Right.
Right. It's like SMART goals. Mm-hmm. Right. Is that what you like? Is that a similar thing?
Yeah, very similar thing. I have 3 goals. So I think if you have more than 3, you're thinking of too many things.
Okay.
Right. Just have top 3 goals. What does that look like? And they level up each time. So
and how far in advance do you look?
Yeah. So I'm looking at 90 days.
Oh, okay. So not that long.
Yeah, not that long. So it's considered long-term goals, but I feel like when you have an actionable plan, it makes those short-term goals a lot more easy to obtain, right? So then you look at every 90 days, okay, I reached goal number 1. Where am I at? How does that look? So for the next 90 days, now I'm working on goal number 2. And then you reassess, okay, is goal number 2 still the path that I'm on? And what steps do I need to take to change or to be able to accomplish that task for the next 90 days?
So you have 3 goals what you recommend is 3 goals to achieve in 90 days.
Yep.
And then work backwards of like, all right, you want to get this in 90 days. what do you think you would need to do in order to get there? Well, I need to do this, this, and this.
Yep.
And then I need to do this, this, and this.
Yep.
So then the next week, my action steps to get to the 90-day goal includes X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like if you think of 75 hard, if you're familiar with that, it's very similar to like 75 hard, but not too intense.
Yeah.
But it's essentially what that is: the consistency and the being able to be repetitive, and then also upping the ante, building up on your workouts or the intensity of what it is. It's very similar when you're accomplishing a goal. If you want to be a CEO, a better worker, if you want to be, an entrepreneur, start your own business, it's just a goal at the end. And how can you follow a task or a routine that's going to lead you to accomplishing that goal with little steps along the way?
Yeah. What are some goals? Like, what are 90-day goals that people often say?
Yeah. So, let me think about that. That's hard. I mean, I get a lot of them about being a better employee or just kind of being a better student. I've only really worked with students and employees. But yeah, I think, what would they say? I don't even know. Now I'm drawing a blank. I'm trying to think. And I'm like, where do the examples go? Yeah, I think people just want to be able to be just a better version of themselves. So like I was in 1909 and everybody was trying to be a better entrepreneur. And what did that look like? So as a mental health guy that was also, pursuing my own business, it was, how can I be a better entrepreneur? How can I be able to get better at social media for my job? How can I get better at marketing? So I would say, hey, this is how you get better at marketing. What is your biggest goal to have? Where do you want to make your impact on? Okay, it's going to be your community. What does your demographic look like? And then kind of just breaking down those smaller pieces there and then going from there and filling out a step. So sorry, I couldn't really think of the best answer, but they're all like going through my head.
So do you work with 1909 often?
Yeah, so I do work with them often. When I first moved back here, actually, I got into their program. It was called, what is it called? Not their accelerator program, but it's the other one, if you're familiar.
But I'm familiar with 1909.
Yeah, it's one of their programs. It's not accelerator, but I forget which one it is. And it was a 90-day program where, okay, every week is going to be something else. They're teaching me how to launch my business. What does that look like? What are the steps that it takes to be able to be a good entrepreneur? And what impact do you really want to have?
Yeah.
Your small business or your business is an extension of yourself. It's not just a way to get money. It's a part of who you are. So the more you can incorporate yourself, your beliefs, and how you want to be viewed or view the world, it's in your business and navigating that.
Yeah. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think with maybe being a better employee, an entrepreneur, or a better version of yourself, something that there's a couple of philosophies I feel like that I've gravitated towards that I like.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is the Japanese ikigai. Familiar with ikigai?
I actually have heard of this, but let me hear what you got.
So it's when the blend of what you're passionate about combines with what you're good at naturally, and then what you can get paid for. Yeah. And then when those three things together, that in the middle would be your ikigai, which is like your vocation, your purpose, as in like, this is my occupation, and a sense of like belonging in the community, as like, this is my role in the community, and like just accept and dive into it. Yeah. Because I like it, I'm good at it naturally, and I can get paid for it because I got to make a living. Right. And then versus like, just, I guess, a lack of, it comes down to, I would think, like a lack of gratitude and a lack of wanting something more, and always looking in comparison to other people. Like comparison game. Yeah, man. Where it's like, no, this is me. I had a patient that it was weird. Like I've had a couple patients recently that went to Japan, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've heard plenty of people and other patients in the past say like Japan's like, it was an awesome place. Yeah. Have you been before? No, I have a friend there right now, actually. He's sending me all these pictures. Yeah, he's out there. Sick. I guess flights right now are like $400 to Tokyo. I mean, maybe you should, Yeah. After this, I'm out. No. Exactly. No, I'm doing it today. I'm going. But I've heard like it's super clean and efficient. Everything works. Right. Where it's not like grungy and dirty and like trash, like a lot of trash everywhere, like whatever. Mm-hmm. But anyway, and everybody has like a lot, the culture there is a lot of people have their sense of purpose. Right. And like, this is my vocation. This is how I contribute to the community. Mm-hmm. It's my belonging sense and a sense of purposefulness. And then just like buying in and diving into like, yep, this is me. This is my identity. This is what I do. Yeah. Like my production identity. And anyway, this one patient was telling me about like, there's this guy that he was in his late 60s or something, maybe early 70s. Yeah. And he had a coffee shop. And he had been doing this coffee thing for 50 years. Wow. He just makes coffee. He has beans, he grinds them, he makes the coffee, the drinks, mixes stuff together, whatever his shop. And then this is what I do. I'm good at it. I enjoy it. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Working my hands. I meet a lot of people, and I can bring joy to people's lives, and give a product to people that people enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, that's what he did. That's just what he does. And I was like, man, I kind of like that, because it's like, otherwise we always, especially with social media, right? The social comparison game. We're like, well, that looks kind of cool. I should be like that. Or like, I should be like this guy, or I should be like that guy or this girl. It just leads to a lack of, I don't know, a sense of identity, and then maybe self-confidence, and then I guess self-security, and then just great gratitude, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know how else I would put it, but yeah, being okay with like, this is me, just dive in.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you gotta be. I mean, you hit it spot on. I mean,
is that what you've heard, Ikigai?
I've heard of that.
Okay.
On my social media, on my Instagram, I just saw it. Like, I watched a video.
Oh yeah, funny.
Yeah, but there's also, it's similar. It's called like the 30-60-90. It's like,
What's that?
Just the 3 points, like a triangle, basically.
Okay.
If you could build your life off of a triangle, off of 3 points that make up who you are, essentially you'll be able to find your path, your alignment. It's literally the same exact thing that you're saying. Yeah, man. So when you said it, my eyes got real big. I was like, oh, I know.
Cool. Anyway, I looked more into it, and I was like, man, I like that. So I asked Grok, all right, I was like, link the comparisons or the similarities of the philosophical approach with Ikigai and then Stoicism. And that was really cool. I don't have that up top of my head, like what Grok spit out. But anyway, because I think Stoicism is pretty cool too, from a sense of like just self-awareness and then, emotional management. But anyway, that was really interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, it's being able to observe before you react. That's essentially what it is, and it's having that control over your thoughts and over your emotions and the things that you have, and observing what's happening in front of you before you just get angry or get sad or what it looks like. And it takes a lot of patience and a lot of work.
So do you dive into Stoicism a lot with your clientele and stuff?
Yeah.
Or yourself? Yeah,
with myself mostly. I mean, when I was working in the clinic, I tried my best, but mostly with myself, I try to keep that.
Yeah, in what ways?
Yeah, I mean, just like I said, observing before I react. I mean, that's been a part of my life since I was young. I mean, I got emotional really fast, and as a man, that's looked frowned upon, unfortunately, but like, that's just what it is. But I can be emotional. I can get super angry really fast, or I can take things personal and get sad about it. And I really have to tell myself, okay, you need to observe what's happening before you just react or feel a certain type of way. Like, be slow. Just be slow, be still, return to your writing, see what you have in your writings, understand how that's healing for you, and kind of just understanding the world around you is a place that you can create for yourself. And if something's making you not feel okay, you have the ability to think another thought, redirect yourself onto a path that's going to fill you up and feel okay. It just takes time, and it takes a second to be still rather than super frantic.
Yeah. So you're suggesting step one would be observe what's going on, and then before you react, if someone's like very reactionary,
right,
emotionally reactionary, you would say observe first what's going on, and then what?
Yeah, I mean, you have to observe your outer setting, so everything that you got going on, what's actually making you feel a certain type of way, and then take an observation of yourself. So then do like a body scan. Okay, why am I feeling like this? Where is this coming from? Did this person say this to me to be hurtful, or did they say something that triggered something from my past that makes me feel upset?
Yeah.
And then navigate that. I mean, it's hard to do in real time, but when you take the space or you have a creative outlet, right, to release that, it makes processing in those times, in those moments, a lot easier, and just, I don't know, it just makes you feel a lot better. So I would say observe your outer before you observe your inner. And then once you kind of observe both, understand where that's coming from, and then be able to have a reaction.
I like that. It's interesting is like, I try to dive into some of that too, with like, why am I reacting a certain way? Or is it something triggering from my past that is resurfacing now that I'm projecting into this situation? Right. That then dictates like my reactions and what I say next or what I do next, gut reactions or just, whatever. Right. Because I mean, do you ever get into that stuff with some of the people you work with? Like gut reactions? Yeah. Or like things in your past. Like, yeah. All the time. So, okay. I was going to say, because like those are deep things that at workshops, it could be, is that challenging to get into with people or not really? Yeah. So with the workshop, are people like really willing to be like, yeah, let's talk about it. My relationship with my father is actually really hard, Yeah. My relationship with my mom was actually terrible. Yeah. Well, honestly, you get a couple of people like sprinkled in there that really don't mind being transparent with people, like at events, which is very interesting, but it's never more than like 4
five people max, but like it's never more than that many people that feel super okay being vulnerable. And it's those people that are truly looking for, you know, what the event is for. They want to overcome something. Therapy might not have worked for them. You know, speech therapy, they might not have done good with whatever that got going on, but they're looking for that real community, you know, community of people to share something to and to be received and to feel loved and to feel like they're a part of something.
Feel safe and secure. Yeah,
exactly. So I kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent, but I get people like that a bunch of times. But the point of my wellness events is to give people just a space, just to feel like there is somewhere that they can go to release these things and to learn and to be a part of the community. And if whatever inspires their niche at the event, they can take it home with them. They have the tools to use that in their everyday.
That's cool. That's awesome. So for you, what are some things you want to accomplish right now that you're working through with your, 90-day sequencing? Yeah, man. So I really want to just not take over, but I shouldn't say that. But I really want to get into these clinics more. I mean, you want to make a big impact in the clinics. Yeah, man. Yeah. Just like where I was working at, it's huge, and I know I can make a difference. When's the next clinic? Yeah, so September 7th at Emerald Resort. I got going on. It's going to be 5 to 7 p.m. Just be a mental wellness. It's called a Night of Intention, where we look at how to set these long-term goals and what it looks like to show up every day. What's the clientele? What's the demographic that this is tailored for this particular event? Yeah, so I would say it's anybody like young adults. I would say under 27, 18 to 27 is kind of my age range. Okay. I think, depression and all these mental health issues, it can happen to anybody, but it's very prevalent in, young adults 18 to 24, and navigating that experience and knowing how to have a release and a creative outlet is super key at that moment. So you can carry that with you into your 30s, your 40s, your 50s if you didn't get to learn that in your childhood. Why do you think that demographic 18 to 24 is battling so much of that? Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, social media is a huge part of it. I think it's starting to change a lot just because, the world around us. But also, people are going to college. You're done with high school and you're, quote, in the real world, right? You're in college or you're working a real job and you're showing up every day, and life isn't just hanging out with your friends and goofing off in school. It's how am I going to be able to pay for this car note? How am I going to be able to get diapers for my kid that I'm having? Or, everything starts to really change. You're becoming an adult and your brain's also not fully developed. So now you have your emotional regulation is not happening properly, and you're quick to emotions, you're quick to your temper, and you don't have those spaces. So it's like, if I can kind of help out that age range and just really understand that next step, I think it can do wonders. Do you mention that as in like, hey, you guys, your brain's not developed yet, so you're going to be very emotional? I actually don't, but I should. I really think that I should, but if I say that, I don't want anybody to feel bad. Right. I can see the right people being like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And then other people, maybe not, it wouldn't be received very well. Yeah, exactly. It depends on the listeners, I guess. Yeah. Why do you think social media has played such an impact like this? Yeah, I mean, you hit it spot on earlier. I was going to say something, but, comparison is the thief of joy, right? And with social media, you're constantly comparing somebody else's highlights to your everyday life, right? It doesn't look like that every single day. You have no idea what goes on behind the scenes, but you see them in Japan. You might see them on a flight. You might see them in a mansion somewhere. Like living a glorious, awesome life. Right. And you have absolutely no idea how they're getting it, but you just see that they're doing it. And that makes you want to up the ante. You want to try new things. What does this look like? And you're not giving yourself the time to really pour into the first goal or the first task that you've given yourself. Yeah. And you're switching tasks way too many times. And then that's why people feel like they're out of balance, out of alignment. They're a mess. Their brain's everywhere. So I heard a similar quote. Another way just to say it, I was like, that makes sense. It was like the biggest issue with people's insecurity is that they compare their behind the scenes with everybody else's highlight reels. Yeah. Which is social media. Yeah, it literally is. Which sucks, as in like, I'm often sad and they're not, or like, I haven't reached these goals yet. And then like, they're already doing it. Like, oh my gosh. Well, like, hey, by the way, this might be fake. Right. They could be fake posting on a private jet. Seriously. And people do that all the time. And it's like, you get more respect. Which is crazy because like, they're doing it just for fake validation. Right. It's not actually happening, but then they just want the virtual validation that they're, from, hey, high five, man, you're getting a private jet. Yeah. Because that's weighed more. Social media is weighed more than the real life. It's literally two separate worlds. It's like really crazy. It blows my mind. Which is a bummer. Which, I mean, from me and my wife, like, we're like, man, I don't I don't want to have my kids involved with anything with that until they're like at least 16, maybe 18. Even then, like, why? You know,
Right.
I heard like this guy I was talking with, they were like, yeah, we would recommend to give your kids social media when you're ready for them to have social anxiety and depression issues.
Yeah.
So when you're
100%.
ready for that, go ahead and give it to them. Like, never.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the smartest thing. When I was in college, I actually wrote, it was my senior thesis, was the effects of social media on behavior.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So it was effects on social media, and I looked at our effects on behavior with social media, and I looked specifically at anxiety. And you can get social anxiety literally just in your room by yourself because of social media, scrolling on your phone. Like just the interest with the like button and the views, and like those insecurities start to weigh more because viewership looks like community, and you don't actually have the real community in real life, but you feel intimidated by that. And then you feel like you're behind. And then also including in where you're at when you're on your phone. You know, if you're isolated in your room, you're going to feel physically isolated on top of being mentally isolated. And it just puts you into this shell where none of that actually even
It's
exists.
not even happening.
Not
So
even
it
happening.
elicits the same visceral responses
Yeah.
as if you were being rejected.
In a real setting at school, at the lunch table, or at your workplace. Like,
or if you're looking from afar when you're by yourself, and then you're looking from afar at all your friends or people having a blast, and you're like, I'm not included.
exactly.
So we're not actually there. You're just in your room.
Just in your room.
And also that could be fake.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't even know. And that's,
It's crazy. It's like, there's no way that, I mean, because grown adults that are intelligent battle with that.
yeah.
Like, what does a 14-year-old girl look like with this?
Right. And that's how you know there's
Absolutely
issues.
destroyed.
Yeah.
Like, they have no chance. They have no chance.
Yeah. Yeah. They really don't.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. You know, the other one that recently with the virtual, like, I know with AI getting so intricate now is crazy.
Yeah.
Or like Grok or ChatGPT or whatever, and they have like the virtual girlfriends and stuff.
Yeah.
You familiar with that?
Yeah. I've seen that, but like, I'm not too familiar with it, but I've seen it on my social media.
There was I saw a post recently of I think it was who was it? I don't think it was Rogan, but it was some kind of podcast guy, and they were like asking Annie on Grok, like just stuff, and they were like, yeah, I mean, Matt,
yeah.
we're doomed.
No, we really are.
Like,
I mean, we're in the conversation of people having like, well, I don't really want to say that, but you can have relationships with technology.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
It is what it is.
right.
Yeah, I don't disagree. That's what it looks like it's going towards.
Right.
And then you had robots, you know, that
Yeah.
look like humans. Like
Yeah.
if they put like human stuff on top of them, you know, skin and hair and whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh my God.
we're like literally living in a movie in
Yeah.
real time. It's like the Will Smith movie, like I Am Legend.
I love you. Yeah, totally.
In real life. So,
Or iRobot.
oh yeah, iRobot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah. So what do you recommend then? Like, what is the problem? Like, this technology and AI and social media is not going away.
Yeah.
The government and people can put the government can put regulations. Like, from my understanding, you have to be at least 16 now to have a social media. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Which is good for predators to not target, you know, young and vulnerable individuals.
Yeah.
Which sucks, you know.
Yeah.
But okay, so cool. 16 years old. I'm sure there's kids that are under 16 that still have it, the same way that anybody can get anything illegally, whatever it is,
Right.
underage drinking or drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Yeah.
Like, what do you like? What would be the best actual solution?
Yeah, we need to build real communities in the real world. Like, you have got to have a real space for you to go to interact and talk to people. Like, that's what we're missing. I mean, aside social media, you can even say COVID was something as well that just kind of isolated people.
Yeah.
As a group of people, especially with mental health trending towards a lot of people starting to have more mental health issues, we lack community. We don't know how to talk to each other in a grocery store. We can't talk to each other when we're at a party or like a bar. People are not physically having fun because they're afraid of how that they will be viewed.
Yeah.
And that's like the social media thing. How does my social media look? Am I going to be viewed a certain type of way? So that goes into real life, and I can't move a certain way that doesn't match my online look, and makes people insecure and fear. So you have to build a real community and authentic relationships and authentic people, and just be as real and genuine as you can. Yeah. Like,
So that's interesting what you said. I never heard it before. Like, that makes sense. Duh. Like, this somebody is portraying this image and this persona online, but then when they meet them in real person, and they'll be like, I'm going to be exposed.
yeah. It's
And
like that
then
fear.
they're concerned. Or people will be like, you're actually not the same.
Right.
Like, you're fake. You're you're faking the whole time. You're an imposter syndrome, right?
Yeah.
It's like real life where you're creating your own imposter syndrome.
Yeah, that's a big part. I never thought about it like that. You really are creating your own imposter syndrome with the two worlds. If you want to be fake on social media or create a certain identity on social media, you are literally doing that to yourself.
So
That's crazy.
what would lead, I mean, I think we know the answer, but like, okay, let's take a step back then. What would lead a kid who's 12 to 16 years old, the desire to be like, I need to create this, like this persona and this person because I'm not that.
Yeah.
I'm not good enough, or I'm not going to be accepted. Like, does that just come from a lack of confidence, a lack of parent, like shepherding at home, instilling value?
Yeah. I would say like the leadership is a big thing. So who's leading them at home, whether it's a parent or a guardian, whatever it looks like. And also kind of what is this child striving to be, right? When you're a kid, you're always asked, who do you want to be when you grow up? You want to be a firefighter, you want to be an astronaut. And nowadays, a lot of these kids want to be a content creator. They want to be, an NFL player. I know I want to be an NFL player. And all these guys are doing this content stuff, and they've got the flashy jewelry, the fast cars, they got the girl, they got everything that they want. And it'd be easy for a kid to say, oh, I want to be an NFL player one day, and this is what that looks like. So I have to model my life after what this NFL player is doing. And if they're not getting proper guidance at home saying, you got to just, be yourself and love what you're doing and find your own passions rather than trying to emulate somebody else's life, that's what would inspire somebody to go start a social media page and start lying essentially and living a different life,
Yeah. Or also like doing face, ice bath for your face.
Oh yeah.
Ashton Hall.
Yeah. With the Saratoga Springs.
Gosh.
Yeah. But you see how the impact that it had though. It was like all these kids are doing it. Teenagers doing it. It's a trend. Millions of people all around the world are doing stuff like that. Yeah.
I can't. I just roll my eyes. Man, it's such a bummer.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into that.
That's all right.
Okay. All right. Okay. What are some of the most underrated forms of decompressing? Which I guess you would also be like getting in your creative, an outlet of getting in a creative state.
Yeah.
Decompression, same thing.
Yeah, decompression is pretty much the same thing. It's basically turning off your brain. So whatever that looks like for you.
So what are most underrated ways to do that?
Yeah, I mean, reading a book. People don't really read books anymore. Just read. And it doesn't have to be something you're learning. It can be fiction. It could be just a story, whatever that looks like. Give yourself something that's entertainment, that's not the TV, that's not your phone, that's not fast, like a quick fix type of content. Sit down and just read a book. And you'll see how you get invested into the story and your brain does turn off. Writing is another one. That's why I like writing so much, because I get my emotions out on page, but like when I'm writing the words, I'm just seeing one word at a time instead of all of them just clubbered up in my head.
Yeah.
I would say also sitting in silence. We don't know how to sit in silence. Yeah. Try to sit in a room with no technology, nothing for 5 minutes, and just see how long you can last without feeling like an itch to go do something.
Just like focus on your breathing or something.
Yeah. Focus on your breath. Like that's another underrated one too.
I've heard on the similar note with that, especially like deprivation, like just like a sensory deprivation, but going on a dopamine deprivation period of time where, because we're just overwhelmed with dopamine with everything we're getting. Dopamine hits all the time. So it's like purposely deprive yourself of dopamine for bouts of time over many, many episodes. So that when something like then when we're presented with a dopaminergic type of experience, it's more authentic.
Right.
Anyway, I've heard that too. So anyway, have you all done study like or getting exposed to stuff like that where it's like the creative outlets or the decompression avenues is actually supposed to help as a relation to decreasing the dopamine?
Yeah.
Is that the purposeful thing?
So I'm really starting to get into more of that wellness scene now myself. I'm not gonna sit here and say I know that works for a fact, but I do know that it does work. I mean, you think of sound therapy and you think of these different, like people do sound baths and sound bowls all the time to help the frequencies in their brain and kind of just chill out for a second. And that's what silence also does. Silence gives your brain that space just to relax. And if you have a person that's filled with anxiety, your mind is going to be running at 1,000 miles per second.
Yeah.
And it's how to calm down with that. So if somebody's struggling with anxiety, having deprivation in a soundproof room or just somewhere that's just away from all the stimulation, it can really help. It can really help, but you have to give yourself the chance to put your feet firm down in the ground and say, I can get through this 5 minutes, and do it over and over and over again until those 5 minutes seem like it's nothing.
So your suggestion is start with 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Yeah. Literally just 5 minutes. Focus on your breath. Just breathe for a second. If you want to start with music at first, like noise canceling headphones, and do like different sounds and just hertz of, I don't know, like these different beats that got going on, that also is a great way to start, just to focus on the thoughts that you have. And then when you feel comfortable to take away the music or take away the beats or the noise that you have.
So like white noise.
You like white noise. I like brown noise, which is like a mixture of two. Yeah, you know.
My daughter used to sleep with pink noise.
Yeah, see?
Actually, we still have our kids on pink noise.
Yeah.
It's weird. We had this baby app, we're like different, orange, brown, blue, white, green.
Oh, I didn't know they have a green noise?
There's all colors. It's just different pitches, different pitch. And it's weird. I was like, this pink noise is a little deeper, and then the white noise is a little more piercing and a little higher pitched. And I was like, it's abrasive,
Yeah.
Pink noise is a little more soothing.
Right.
Anyway, she seemed to do that, and we just stuck with all our kids.
Yeah, I mean, it calms down the brain, like it literally does.
It does. I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's the craziest thing, man.
It's and it's weird too. Yeah, I think the pink noise, some kind of white noise like that.
Yeah.
All right, so you're saying white noise, a beats, a sequencing, or just complete silence, or just noise canceling headphones.
Yeah, that would be amazing, and just give yourself a second to get away.
What if somebody says, I'm not good at that?
You have to give yourself a chance. That's the anxiety talking, or that's the fear talking, right? We have to understand, where are these thoughts coming from? What does that stem from? If you say you can't do something, it's out of the fear that you're incapable of accomplishing that task. And you have to truly believe in yourself. It's not corny to say, I believe in myself or I can do it, but that's how effective it is. And you have to show up and face the fear. Now, if you can only do it for a minute or 2 minutes, then you have like your standard goal. Now you can do it for at least 2 minutes. Next time you do it, try to go a little bit longer. It's the same thing, elevating, working yourself up to getting there.
I had heard somebody mention that before too. They were like, yeah, do 5 minutes. And they were like, you've never done it before and you're concerned, you have a fear, which is you're imagining, it's not even actually happened yet. You're just imagining you're going to fail or just not going to be good at it or not like it or whatever.
Right.
So it hasn't yet happened, just imaginary. Let's say you do it. You've never done it before. You're always super fast paced, ton of simulation all the time. You have battling anxiety, which is a very common thing. Mm-hmm. And let's say you try this 5 minute thing. Do you think you're going to be good at it right away? And they're like, no. And I was like, exactly. That's okay.
Yeah.
Expect yourself to not be good. Like the first time, you played football, like try to catch a pass, like you like
it's trash.
Randy Moss right away.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's okay to be bad. You would expect yourself to be bad at like what you would consider to be good, but that's okay.
Right.
Right. Like, so it happened. That's what, expectations happened. Okay, cool. Next time do the same thing. And you probably expect to be a little bit better maybe, but maybe the same. Right. Good days and bad days.
Yeah.
But anyway, I liked that for goal setting. Like I had a mentor tell me that one time in a sense of like, just do the thing, like whatever is, as an entrepreneur, right? Marketing, sales, treating people, like working with people, whatever, networking, whatever.
Yeah.
Just be scared. Just do it scared. That's okay. You're not going to be good at it and you're concerned that you're going to fail. That's all right. Just be scared.
Yeah. You have to do it.
Like what's actually going to happen?
Right.
You're not picking up a poisonous snake and trying to play with it.
Seriously. But that fight or flight, it kicks in. And that's the severity of anxiety. And that's the realness of it, is that it targets your fight or flight and makes you have certain stress that you should not have. That's why you have to exercise the skills of stillness and of a space where you can just relax and know what that feels like. So you don't have to be.
So let's say, well, a couple more minutes and we'll land the plane. But let's say somebody is battling an anxiety issue, right? Which is very common. And during the day, they're like, hey, I battle this anxiety if I know I'm going to have a conversation with my boss.
Yeah.
Like, I know I have a conversation today at noon, at lunchtime or whatever, and it's coming up. What do you recommend right then? Right
before, you got to breathe. Like at that moment, more than anything, you have to find stillness in your breath, right? So when playing football, my friend used to be like, oh, if you're nervous, that means you're ready. Like you've done everything it takes and you just want to be able to do it to the best of your ability at your execution, right? If you know that you're an employee who has done everything right, you show up, you put your best step forward. Maybe you make mistakes here and there, and that's okay. Before talking to a CEO or your boss or somebody about whatever it might be, and you're having anxiety or you're feeling anxious, take a second to just breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, and ask yourself, why am I feeling like this? And how can I change that? And then once you figure out that reason and how to change it, just focus on that. Keep breathing into the nose. I'm going to change it by doing this. I'm going to feel okay by lowering my heart rate. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to be myself. I'm confident that I'm a great employee. Just reminding yourself of these things that you are and not fill yourself with the fear or the doubts of everything that you're not.
Yeah.
So that just kind of gets you on the right path.
So with focusing on the breathing, right, what does that do?
Slows down everything, your nervous system, your physical needs, everything. It slows you down, right? You might have, like I said, 1,000 thoughts per minute running through your brain. When you're breathing through the nose and out through the mouth, your brain literally has to slow down, right? So it's like you can see each thought a little bit slower.
So it helps you process things better.
Yep. Same way we were talking about with creative outlets. You know, when you're super stressed in your everyday, what is your creative outlet that gives you that space to analyze thoughts a lot slower?
Yeah.
When you have the time, you can. If you're in a fast-paced environment, you got to breathe.
Yeah.
And that's the quickest way to be able to do that.
Cool. Awesome, man. Well, thanks for coming in and sharing a lot of this stuff. Tell people where, if they want to reach out to you, how can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, definitely. Hey, reach out to me on Instagram at 45Hutch and also Project Spark with 2 Ks. If you want to send me an email, it's just going to be Daniel Hutchinson at projectspark.com. And yeah, I'd love to talk to anybody. If they have any questions, comments, concerns, let's chat.
Cool. And how can they sign up for the event in September? Yeah,
so the event in September, you're going to go to Emirate Ocean Resorts website. It's going to be on their events section. And all you're going to do is find the Project Spark Night of Intention. And then we could buy tickets right there.
Project Spark Night of Intention.
Yep.
Cool. And that's September 10th?
September 7th from 5 to 7 p.m.
September 7th, 5 to 7 p.m.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome, man. Well, thanks again for coming in. And we'll have to get another round in. And maybe after the event, talk about like what happened and insights and stuff from there.
Yeah, I would love that.
And if y'all have any questions, we always invite comments, questions, concerns, conflicting opinions, if y'all have any ideas or anything like that. And if you're battling any pain from an orthopedic sports standpoint, we'd love to help you. We can at least talk on the phone first and it gets you in the right direction. But the best way to reach us is probably our phone number at 561-899-8725. And we'd love to chat and help. And we'll catch y'all next time.